So, I've just finished the Trinity and the Kingdom of God. Some interesting things in there. It'd be worth me just mentioning a few of the positives that I noted. The first one would be his treatment of divine passibility. It seems clear to me that God is capable of suffering. Moltmann puts forward an argument from perfect being theology in his chapter, but I think that's inconsistent with the way he's wanted to do things, because he was trying to avoid that kind of philosophical natural theology kind of route, but he kind of fails to do that. Nevertheless, I think he's right in affirming the passibility of God. What else can be said for Moltmann's book? Again, like in one of my previous updates, he focuses the issues in contemporary Trinitarian theology. He's the first one to kind of bring them all to bear, I think, and lay out all the issues to be debated, even if his own views are very idiosyncratic and not particularly persuasive, in my own view. What else can be said? He had a number of good pages on theology as doxology, which I think is very valuable. And I think he's right to criticise tendencies of modalism in people like Barth and Rana, and is right to take that kind of accusation seriously, because, as I think someone else said, the Christian doctrine of God is the doctrine of the Trinity. So some really positive things, but as one will notice from my previous updates, a lot of negatives as well. None of Moltmann's arguments seem particularly persuasive to me, apart from the fact that we need to take Trinitarianism seriously. But the way he goes about arguing things is convoluted, the language he uses is confusing, he gets confused himself sometimes, he contradicts himself, he seems to accuse Augustine of all the causing all the problems in theology is basically down to Augustine. Augustine's accused of tritheism, Sabellianism, and providing a framework with which to justify dictatorships and tyrannical regimes. So, even though I think he does treat him favourably in some areas, Augustine's basically the cause for all the problems in theological history. So there you go. An interesting book, and definitely one to review for my assignment. There are definitely a bunch of things to take from it that are positive, but also a lot of stuff there to criticise. I hope I don't unfairly criticise Moltmann, but there's a lot of stuff there that is good to converse with. So there we go, finish that. I'm going to try and move on to some of the other stuff I've got here, things like God for Us, Trinitarian theology today, and just read some of those things that will sum up some of the people that came after Moltmann. And then I'll finally lay out an essay outline which will just take us through those chronological development of Trinitarian theology, highlighting those issues, seeing where people fall on those, and then using a lot of that stuff from Advancing Trinitarian Theology, which provided some really helpful overviews of some of these issues, like immanent economic distinctions, the power of perichoresis, whether Augustine is to be blamed for all the evils in modern theology, and things like that. So that's my way forward at the moment, and I will update you in the next one.